Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage and welcome back to a new series of Old World. After the minor disaster, which was the last game, I decided it was time to have another go. Now, the last game, I attempted to get a domination victory and realised it just really isn't possible. The way that Old World is made isn't designed around that victory type, even though it exists as a victory type. And unfortunately, I realised that quite late into the game, changed my tact and almost managed to get a win over the AI, and I lost out by a couple of turns. So I'm deciding to start again. I've decided for this run I'm going to be playing as Egypt and Hatshepsut. Nice little start of an extra 400 stone, which will be really useful. Cities also gain an extra 40% yields from farms next to rivers, which is really nice. And there's a minus 25% cost for adjacent improvement classes. So that's tile improvements that are of the same type but higher tiers, like audience theatres and amphitheatres, like libraries, academies, universities and things like that. If you put them all next to each other, they're 25% cheaper. We also start with ironworking and start with stone cutting and start with labour force, which is really, really nice. The families that we have are the Remicide family. They will actually give us some additional training per turn, and their cities always start connected, which is really nice. Some of these families you will notice actually work between different civilizations. So some civilizations do have the same families. I'm not going to be able to find them now, but the stats are the same between some of them. We've got the landowners, so that gives us extra population per turn, cheaper rural specialists, more gold per crop resource. We've got the Amana family, reduces discontent, which is quite nice. And we've got the Thutmose family that gives us some additional civics, reduces urban specialist cost, gives us more science per specialist. So some nice things to start with there. Now, the last game I played, I think, was on the strong. So the first one that I won was the just. Then I did the strong. It's been suggested that I try the noble. So raiders do invade from distant lands. So we're going to go in and try as the noble. I don't think I need to change anything else specifically, so we'll just go in with everything else set on to default. Now, I am going to avoid offensive wars, so I'm only going to go to war if I get declared on and I have no choice other than to go to war, although I will build a defensive army. Obviously that doesn't count going to war with barbarians and tribes. I'm only talking about other AI. One exception I might make for that is if I have a particularly weak neighbour and I see an opportunity to absolutely pounce on them and wipe them out. That's unlikely to happen though. So let's go and jump in here. Hopefully I can put to use what I've learnt in the first two games and do a bit better. So here we are going to found our capital. So, which of these tiles do we choose? They're all probably going to be about the same. If I pick this bottom one here, it will miss out on the barley. So we probably want to get one of the three top ones, because those are the ones that give us the barley. And the two bottom ones don't give us anything extra. So it's out of these three. And I think personally this one is better because it does give us some trees there. So we're going to go and move over there and found our capital. So where do we start here? I think we might actually want to start with the Thutmose family, just so we can start getting cheaper urban specialists, because obviously it'll be our most developed city. Your capital usually is. And some extra science. So that's probably where we're going to start. So let's go ahead and do that. And there we go. We have our first city. We've already discovered navigation. We've discovered a lake. We've got a city site down there. We've got three texts to choose from: trapping, divination, administration. The game is recommending trapping. I think that's mostly so you can get slingers. Administration is also nice so you can get the granary, but I think trapping is a decent one to get. So we start with a scout, we start with a warrior. Let's go ahead and take our scout, I think, over to this shrine and then possibly... I don't know now. And then possibly down to this city site. So, how many orders do we have? Not many. Okay, let's think about our worker first then. We're probably going to need some food, because we're on negative food. So before we start worrying about quarries and farms over there, though, that'd be a really nice farm. Let's think about getting farms on rivers. Now, I could just go and drop a farm right here where I'm standing, which is probably not a bad idea, but I think I'll actually go and get one over here next. So this one's going to be on a river, and it's also going to be next to the wheat that's here as well. And we'll take you over to here. So our expedition approached an ancient monument. The structure appears to be the tomb of a great leader. So our options are to gain 2 charisma, becoming gracious, gain 2 legitimacy, or gain 50 science. 50 science is a lot at the moment. We're making 9 science a turn, so 50 science is like 6 turns worth of science. So let's go ahead and do that, and it takes a massive chunk out of trapping. And then we're going to start heading down. We've got iron here, we've got iron here, so that's a nice start. Not too much more we can do because we have ran out of orders, so let's go ahead and move on to the next turn. So we already start with an heir, although we're not married. Let's go for philosophy. I always like to try and get science on my heirs if possible. We do also want to try and get a marriage. So let's go ahead and start working on that. It will cost us 2 orders and 100 civics, but we need to start it sooner rather than later. And let's move down here with you. Takes a little while to get down to some of these spots, but yeah, we're going to want to start a second city as soon as possible. We do have a settler coming from this city. Let's just have a little look around with our warrior. See, that was worthwhile because we found a lake. Always good to get some additional... I'm trying to right-click to drag now because I've been playing Farthest Frontier, and it's not right-click drag, it's left-click. There's also looks like there's another city spot up here also. So let's go ahead and end the year. And our son is now old enough to be... Was that our daughter is now old enough to be taught by courtiers? Do we have a son? Yes, we do. So what have we got here? A new marriage proposal from the Thutmosids. So who do we pick, basically? We've got someone who is a judge. So +2 charisma and +2... I can never remember what that one is. What's it called? Doesn't even want to tell me. Discipline. +2 charisma and +2 discipline. Or +1 wisdom, +3 charisma, +3 courage, +3 discipline. One here is clearly better than the others. So we've got this one is a better judge, is better as a governor though, because he's actually a judge, so can hurry projects and specialists with money. Although we're not really going to be able to afford to do that anyway. No, let's go with this one. That didn't actually do it because I just clicked on the picture. I'll sort that one out in a second. The immortality of writers. So this is our daughter, can either gain 1 wisdom or 1 courage. We'll take the wisdom, of course. This is our son. Let's go for discipline, because if you can't have science, have money. Let's try this one again. We want this guy who is Beppy. Okay, now let's have a look over here. Is this an actual city site? I can't quite tell. Workers still be working. And yeah, let's just go down here and claim this. Just having a little look around. Look at that. We found another wonder. Another natural wonder. This will actually be quite a nice site. We've got water. We've got some goats there. We've got salt. We've got marble. We've got sorghum. Get it right. So yeah, that's a nice little city spot there. Let's end the year because there's not much else we can do here. And we're already at the point where we can get our second tech. I guess we should go for administration. Being able to build granaries is nice. Yep, so let's go ahead and do that. Our work is now finished. Now, we could just go and get the farm on the wheat. It might be worth doing that. We start with a decent amount of stone, so we don't have to worry too much about that early on. Yeah, the only thing we're possibly going to build here is a farm, and because it's on wheat, it will actually give us growth anyway, so we might as well go ahead and get that. with our scout. Let's continue scouting. Grinning Emissary. So we found the Danes. So a grinning barbarian chief comes before you, bowing with respect. He explains that it's customary among the Danes to show their prosperity by offering gifts to new acquaintances. We can accept it, which increases their opinion of us and bags us 90 gold. We can take the gift and offer one of our own. So we can give them some food, which makes us humble, gives us more wisdom. What are we currently? Nothing at the moment, no nomenclature. We can go to war. Let's do that. It's 36 food, but we will start making food back reasonably quickly, so I'm not too worried about that. So we do have the Danes close by, and just because we've made a friendly act to them now doesn't mean we have to stick with that, so we can always change that later. Let's leave you there, and let's just have a quick look with here. This is a city site, and we are next to barbarians. We're going to start attacking them. We should be able to take them out. So we're going to want to grab this one as well. Let's go on to the next turn. Now, I've got to be careful here. This is my only military unit. And typically they've managed to just spawn another one. Now, I could go ahead and put a general in this unit. But it's always better to be the attacker than the attacked. Let's move back a little bit. We'll add a general, and then we'll go back and attack them afterwards. So who do we want as a general? So we could put in Nefertiti, who would give us an extra 9% attack. That is quite nice. Yeah, that's probably what we're going to go for, actually. So we'll do that, and then we can move up there on the next turn. Nothing else that we can do. Well, we could move the scout around a little bit more. And we found another one of these shrine things, the carved wall. So we can get an extra 40 culture in our capital. Or we can gain instantly aristocracy, which is quite nice. So that gives us centralization and vassalage. So vassalage is basically minus 50% unit resource consumption. And no extra consumption when outside borders. Riders get an extra 20% opinion or centralisation, which is an extra 10 civics per year. And the capital city gets 2 science per culture level. They're both nice, but I probably don't want to enact them that early on. Let's just take the culture boost right now. I think it'll serve us better in the early game. And we'll just have a quick look around here and see what we might find. We'll hide up in the trees. Okay, that's the end of that year. Work of art. So this is our daughter, so she can become estranged from the queen, removing endeared to and gain her 40 XP, or she can lose 2 discipline and gain 1 charisma, and it could lead to future events. It's a difficult one, actually, because I'd sooner keep studying towards wisdom rather than becoming artist, although she won't necessarily lose the wisdom. Fine, we'll do that one. And we have our next settler. Now, the question with this settler is, do we start this city down here, or do we go up and start that city? Well, the barbarians are still up there, so we probably want to come down and do this one. Now, unfortunately, it's a long way to get there. I'm not going to force march, because if I force march, I'll just burn through my... let's heal with you. Yeah, if I force march, I will just absolutely burn through my movement, so I'm not going to... burn through my orders, so I'm not going to do that. We do now have a city that is not working on anything. We can't afford to work on a settler at the moment because we don't have the food. Let's go ahead and work on a slinger, because we are going to need at least 1 more military unit. Now, somebody did provide the answer to me about why settlers and workers are more expensive in some cities than others. I really apologise because I forget the person's name now, but I'll try and remember to look it up for the next video so I can give them the credit they truly deserve. But apparently, every time you build a settler, a worker, or a disciple in a city, the cost for them goes up in that city. So you're really encouraged to sort of spread them out rather than produce all of your settlers and all of your workers in a single city. Now that makes perfect sense to me. Another couple of things that it's worth noting, one that we've brought up before, which is that when you are using a worker, if you use a worker that belongs to a one family and you use that worker in a city that belongs to a different family, they take 1 extra turn to build something. And one thing that I didn't realise with settlers is when you are settling a new city, you obviously have to give that city to one of the families. If the city... if you give the city to the family that's the same family that the settler belonged to, you start with an extra population. So that's actually quite a useful thing to know. Let's go up here and try and deal with these barbarians. I'd have to force march here if I want to attack. What I could do actually is back up a little bit there, be a little bit cheeky. I could make the move to, say, here, and we can go ahead and promote them. Give them possibly combat. Let's give them plus 10% if damaged. We're definitely going to get damaged. Also, I don't know if steadfast works against barbarians, because it specifically says tribal units. And I'm reasonably certain that barbarians don't count. Again, as tribal units. Let me just step out here a moment. So what are these? These are marauders. Well, these are marauders and skirmishers. These are marauders and skirmishers. And if I click on that... Come on, give me the pop-up. It does say marauder and it does say skirmisher. So maybe it does count. So... let's give it a try and give them steadfast. I think that'll make a huge difference doing that. Our worker is now free. We can build a quarry. So it's a plus 5, but that's about the best quarry that we're going to get anywhere at the moment anyway. Is it worth building one probably on this side, more towards the hills? I mean, the tiles next to the rivers we probably want to reserve for farms. We don't have any hill tiles at the moment. We could start working towards the mountains, of course. This is going to be a farm because it's barley. Let's go and put the quarry up here because that way we're working towards the mountains. I also don't want to build them too close around the city because the city wants some space for extra urban tiles. There we go, we found another landmark and we are out of orders, so I can't do anything else on this turn. On to the next one we go, philosophy studies. So is this our daughter again? Yes, it is. So she can become a scholar, can serve as governor or spy master, plus 3 wisdom. Or she can become a zealot. I think we'll take the plus 3 wisdom. Can we actually pop her in a city as a governor at the moment? I think your capital can get a governor like pretty much straight away. So we could put her in the capital. Now, she does have a decent extra science gain, but we would lose money. You're corrupt, so we'd actually lose civics. We could put ourselves in. I mean, it's not a lot of science gain, but it's growth, it's culture, it's science, and it's money. So let's go ahead and put ourselves in as governor of the capital. It makes the most sense. We are going to go in here and set this up ready for our... I shouldn't have picked that tile, actually. Let me just undo that. Should have looked here first, because we want to try and grab the salt if we can. So this tile also gives us the sheep. So I think we're going to go and settle here. Now, which family do we give this to? The riders means we can get it connected up. That could be quite useful. The landowners would give us some growth. Rural specialist. Crop resources. Well, we're going to have at least one crop resource. And removing discontent. I think the one I'm probably not going to be using are the riders. Especially if I'm not planning to go to war. So it's basically between these two at the moment. So do we want the growth or do we want to reduce the discontent? Can build urban improvements on sand. Well, we're not really next to sand. Oh, this is all arid and flat, but not sand. So we might just want to go for the growth. Yep, so we'll go for the landowners. Done. Decision is made. So now we have our second city. We are going to want to get another settler as soon as possible so we can start working on our third city. Let's go and grab this. So basically we can restore the ancient Danish site. Dane's opinion of us increases. Costs us a little bit of stone. And we get some XP. Or we can forage for valuable materials. We're just going to take the valuable materials. I don't need to stay friendly with the Danes. We've got another barbarian camp over here. That is definitely something that we want to be mindful of. I'm going to leave you here, hiding in the trees. Now I need to go off and take these guys. I can't really do anything at the moment, so I think we'll just possibly... We do have a general here, don't we? Yes, we do. We've got a general. We've been promoted. I could move in and attack, but I think I'll just keep you there. We'll skip the turn. We've got another city, of course. It's going to start on a worker, because that's where we always start. You're just going to go on to sentry. And, yeah, let's end that turn. And we've got time for one more. Now, they're actually coming to attack me. That's a little bit cheeky. Your daughter would sell her own grandmother for 2 coins. Everyone knows her to be greedy. This is our son. So the options are become a herbalist. As a general, gains 4 extra HP from a heal action. As a leader, all units gain 2 HP, an extra 2 HP from a heal action. Or we can become vigilant. As a governor, city gains extra defense. Or there are many other mysteries in the world. We don't want to send him off exploring. Let's make him a herbalist. It'll do. Choose an ambition. Control 6 farms desired by the landowners. Do you know what? We can do that. That one is reasonably easy. Control 6 farms. And we don't have to do that in any specific city. Right, we should be able to absolutely smash these barbarians now. Workers still working. And there's not too much we can do other than a bit of exploration. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go and harvest the horses. Some easy money. Oh, look, another barbarian camp. Let's stay away from those guys. I should technically be fine because I am hidden. I am in the trees. They shouldn't be able to see me there. Let's end the year. You're going to attack me again. Okay, so what do we start with here? We can get a free byreme, which is interesting. Let's take it. Boats are definitely useful when you're being attacked by barbarians and you need to clear a camp out, so I think that's the way to go. So we could build a camp down here. That'll give us some extra food and some extra growth. We could build the farm. So 2 growth and 14 food versus 2 growth and 10 food. Obviously we want to get the farm first. We can also get the granary, but that'll cost us lumber. So let's go ahead and work on that. You are indeed safe. We'll move you out here because we want to avoid zone of control. Put you on the hill. Let's go ahead, harvest those horses. Put you on this hill up here. Well, there we go. We found some gems. Right, let's do the attack. Smashy, smashy. There's 1 unit down, and then we'll go and deal with the other one. We actually took a lot more damage there than I'd expected, but that's fine. How long have we got left on that slinger? 4 turns. Might bring this guy in back and heal on the next turn. Recent events have shaken the confidence of our stepson and he's lost some of his charm. He's lost 1 charisma. Our husband would sell his own grandmother for 2 coins. Everyone knows he's greedy. Good to know everyone in my family is greedy. So this is the Duke. So basically can gain commander. As general, plus 20% combat if the same unit is adjacent. That's quite nice. And as a general, if leader, gains an extra 50% attack when flanking. Or can become a schemer. Can serve as an agent or spy master. Use legitimacy to buy orders. But look at that though. Plus 4 global wisdom. Yeah, I think scheme is the option that we have to go for there. So we've gone ahead and got our worker. I think what I might do here is actually, we could start with the oracle. We don't have the food for it, unfortunately. Building a mine on the salt is definitely worth it. Very early culture boost, very early boost to coin. So let's go ahead and start with that. We will want to start building wonders as soon as we can. We're Egypt, right? We've got to do that, but we do need some food. And I do want to get a settler out because I want to try and grab that second city as soon as possible. We'll also probably come over here and try and grab this one. Do I just want to run in here and attack? I think I can probably take them out before they can take me out, so let's give it a go and see what happens. We'll leave those barbarians alone for now. Oh, would you look at that? It's another barbarian camp. Let's harvest those gems. So we can either get 240 gold straight up, or we can get 480, but we can become cursed, cruel, or greedy. I think I'll just take the 240. There's no reason why I need to sort of overdo that. We can harvest the salt here as well. And in fact, we can go and harvest the elephants. So again, a lot of stuff there. And yeah, now I'm out of orders and can't do anything anyway. We've got this city that's completed the worker. Now, we could go ahead and get a settler over here, and we probably should. Yeah, difficult one, actually. I might even just go for an extra worker. You see the worker now's gone up from 3 to a cost of 3 to 4. It might be worth just getting the extra worker. Actually, it's probably worth getting an extra warrior. Let's get the warrior. We want to make sure that we can defend ourselves. We are playing on a high difficulty level. And that is all that I can do on this turn. So I'm going to go ahead and end the video there. I think it's a reasonably good start. And hopefully it'll be a reasonably good finish. So thanks a lot for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I hope you'll go on to enjoy the entire series. If you are new to the channel, please do consider subscribing. And even if you're not new to the channel, please do consider leaving a like on the video. I will see you next time. So until then, goodbye for now.